514 Al Cuerpo Boxing to the body. We're live. It's about 4:45 our time. And let's recap the whole Bam Rodriguez performance against Cafu, the Pacquiao Barios fight, which was interesting. Who else? Tszyu versus Sebastian Fundora. Which other one are we missing? Mm, I guess Usyk and Dubois. I liked it. It was a good fight. I'm happy because I got the package deal with the Potato fight on the zone, so I got that bundle. What else? What else? What else is there? Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the. Let's go. I wanted to say Pac for last, but I guess Pacquiao is more important. We can go ahead and start with that one. But Pacquiao, to be honest with you guys, I actually thought Mario Barrios edged it just a tad bit, maybe by a round. It's debatable. But let's say for the most part, let's say it was a draw. But I did like I wanted Pacquiao to win, of course. I wanted Pacquiao to win. Pacquiao actually made the action. He actually made the fight entertaining. So shout out to Pacquiao. Um, I think I gave in the first half, maybe I gave Pacquiao 4 or 5 rounds, and then maybe in the second half I gave him about 2 rounds. So you could see maybe like 6-6 if anything. But without a doubt, we know that Mario Barrios, as you saw in the corner, he was advised to go harder and to not lose points. That's interesting, right? Because one would imagine that Mario Barrios should have done that from the get-go. I mean, there's 12 rounds, guys. So I thought maybe when it comes to PBC, there's always fun theories to the juggle. For those of you that so it was kind of like my Mike Roach type of coaching, right? Mm. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But shout out to Pacquiao for showing up, man. 46. I really wanted him to win another world title. Hopefully they can make that rematch ASAP. Um, but I did like Pac. Pac did show his age. Um, he wasn't as fast. Power was there for sure. That heavy-handed power was there, but as we know, classic Pacquiao likes to do attempted risks. Um, and I guess what was the last fight he had against Ugas, was it? I don't remember what's the last time he had on ABC. I didn't rate Pacquiao with the fight we had against that Japanese MMA fighter because back then he was into the whole political game. So he couldn't focus in the right camp. Pacquiao himself, he said that he needed like a good 4 or 5 months to train. So that's the truth, guys. So given that, man, if Pacquiao only had about 3 months to train and he performed like that, that's actually pretty good, believe it or not. As we know, Mario Barros is always active. So I guess that's that. Let's go ahead and talk about Bam Rodriguez, man. Bam Rodriguez, I was really impressed last night. That was Bam's probably best performance in his entire career. I guess against Cafu. I don't know much about the South African Cafu, but Cafu was a champion. He was defending his title, but again, so much evasiveness against the ropes. He missed a lot of shots. It's because he probably sacrificed about 1 foot of distance. Can't do that against a Bam Rodriguez, who's probably one of the best footworks in the game right now, man. I really like uh, uh, Bam last night. Really, really good. But check it out, guys. And I've been saying this for a long time. I've been wanting. I've done videos about this. I want Bam to already go to 118, guys. If you guys were impressed with Bam Rodriguez last night, and what I've been saying for the longest, Bam Rodriguez beats all the champions at 118 except for Nakatani just yet. I think Nakatani and Bam is maybe a 60-40 fight in favor of Nakatani. Let me do a quick shout out to some you guys. John Chappell. He goes, "What's that slug on your top lip? That slug? Who would win, Diddy or Fitty in a fight? Diddy or Diddy or Fitty?" I'd probably go with Fitty, right? Fitty's got some amateur back. I don't know if he's got amateur background, but he's got some background in boxing. But back to Bam Rodriguez, guys. I've been saying, I think his name is Tszyu, the champion, right? What's the other one? Tszyu Tatsumi, maybe. Guys, those are some easy fights for Bam Rodriguez, and Bam could already be a 118 champ easily, guys. And you know what? Check it out. I'm glad that Bam actually brought up Nakatani because that's the fight we've been wanting. Maybe Eddie Hearn's like reserving Bam Rodriguez to not go up just yet. Eddie Hearn hasn't been winning as much as of late. Frank Warren's he's got the upper hand as far as the UK fighters. But I think it's okay. I mean, Hearn is still in a win-win situation, right? He's got Usyk. They could do some more fights. Maybe they could do Parker versus Usyk. I know Parker though is with Frank Warren, right? All the top dogs in heavyweight are King Queenberry, Frank Warren. But sorry, man. Back to Bam Rodriguez, guys. Bam Rodriguez easily make 118. He doesn't got to cut what 3 pounds of water. He's going to come in more sharp. And now is the time to take on guys like Nakatani. Nakatani could already fight at 126, guys, easily. He could fight at 126. I mean, of course, 122 is where he's going, but you better fight and beat Nakatani now while he's brittle with the weight. That's going to be to Bam's advantage, okay? And again, I still got 60-40 for Nakatani. Nakatani's got a really good jab, really good distance. He's got the height. He's got power, man. He's got good crosses. The way he destroyed, I think it's, the General Cuellar, Jesus Cuellar, Mexican badass. He just smashed him, guys. He smashed him out. That's why I want to see the retos. We say the challenge. Little shout out to Damien Gaming. He says hello. Okay. Shout out to you guys. I guess you guys are part of this region. Um, but yeah, guys, I don't know if you guys agree. If you guys agree, man, go ahead and hit that like, man, because I know my boxing. I know Bam Rodriguez. And Bam Rodriguez, amazing, amazing movement in this fight. Controlled everything. Usually, I like Bam with the way he's able to do his sidestepping. Um, very, very good angles. But in this fight, guys, he was just a predator assault in this fight. Capo had nothing for him. And again, that's Cafu. I don't really know much about Cafu, but that's what I had. I think right now Bam Rodriguez, he wants to do another unification with another Mexican guy. I forgot what his name is at 115. And I know guys want to see him do undisputed, but sometimes there are better things than to wait for undisputed, as we saw with Bivol and Beterbiev. That shout out to the Russians that want to finish their series. Forget about the theme of undisputed. Um, but I do respect Bivol and Beterbiev. They've got some beef to settle. With that being said, sometimes we don't need undisputed all the time. And I think right now, as far as pound for pound and historical accolade, um, Bam Rodriguez will make a better name for himself if he goes and gets into the title at 118. Because, guys, I see Bam Rodriguez going to 122 also, right? So you might as well get your experience. Sacrifice. I got to sacrifice that 3 pounds of water. Let me do a shout out to Ivan Bogner. Ivan Bogner. How do you personally decide is a fart or a sharp? I think I've said a joke like that before, right? Who did I say that with? If you do, help me out here. I think it's level before. A sharp or a fart. That's nasty stuff. Anyways, Damien Gaming says what's up. Let me know, what do you guys think? Are you guys really here for the Pacquiao or Bam Rodriguez aftermath? Let me know what you guys think, man. Make a comment so I can reply to it. What's up? Mr. Blitz says hi. What up, though? But that's that. I guess let's talk about Tim Tszyu and Fundora, man. I like Fundora. Fundora, I think this is probably Fundora's best fight to date. He's got the height. Fundora's ass already could be fighting at 160, guys. I'm kind of tired of this whole weight bully thing. Um, Ivan Bogner says, "Give me shelter." I don't know what that means, but Sebastian Fundora, he knows how to parry jabs. If you go to the center of the body, he can parry that. He has a really, really good jab. He can control any type of pairing with his long arms. And he's got a chin, guys, man. Because I know Tim Tszyu's game plan, he wanted to probably hurt Fundora as he got hurt with, what's his name? Brian Mendoza. Or even in the first fight, Tim Tszyu had success, right? But I would say, I think we could all agree that Sebastian Fundora, he's got a good chin, guys. He's got a really good chin. He could take the shots from Tim Tszyu. But Tim Tszyu should have focused more on the body work, man. Go to the body, man. Jab, jab, jab. Set up feints, man. At least for like, let's say rounds 4 to 6, change it up. I'm disappointed in Tim Tszyu, really. I've always been a Tim Tszyu fan, and that he just fell off. And I wanted him to show up because maybe he could do something at 160, but this fight was at a high standard. Champs, it's time now for Fundora versus Jesus Ramos. There we go. Thank you for saying that, Champy. If you guys know me, I'm a big fan of Mono Ramos. Mono Ramos is a difficult and dangerous fighter for any guy at 154. As a matter of fact, I've been wanting Jesus Ramos versus Bakram. But these PBC fighters got to be more vocal. They got to be calling for these fights. I don't know what's up with the PBC gang. We see a lot of these fighters like Benavidez and Moro now they're over Turkey, so maybe there's better opportunities for these guys. But I'm really glad that the champion said Fundora versus Jesus Ramos. That's a good fight. It's a good fight for the raza, los Latinos. But make no mistake, Jesus Ramos can also fight at 160. I want him to go up there. Ivan Bogner, Rolling Stones. That's what's up. Mango, please let me jork your schlongest, bro. Mongus, why ain't responding, mustache musketeer? I'm Baba Two Blow. Okay, yeah. I mean, maybe you guys could talk some boxing, man. Because if you're writing some weird stuff, I ain't gonna read it, bro. Or I'm not gonna respond to it. Let's talk some boxing here, guys. So we were talking about what were we on? Yeah, Tim's with Fundora, man. So shout out to Fundora. I think by the way, I want to see Fundora go to 160. Take on guys like Lara or Adamas, right? Adamas recently supposedly has been exposed because he doesn't want to fight Janibek. None of the 160 guys want to fight Janibek. And hey, Janibek's ass should go to 168 as well. And Janibek's a big ass guy, man. He's big. He's big. Give me Janabek versus Bek the Bully. Hells yeah. Uzbekistan versus Kazakhstan. If you guys are down for that stuff, right? We like to troll that Russians don't like to fight each other, blah, blah, blah. But give me Uzbekistan versus Kazakhstan. Let's see if these guys are down for it. Ivan Bogner, Pro Cup opinion. Oh, yeah, Pro Cup. He's retired, ain't he? Pro Cup, old school MMA fighter, man. Croatian badass. Mango. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what's up, man. At least you're here. That's what's up. I see you guys got like these little champion things like in the king status. I don't know how to do that, but whatever. What else, guys? Let me know. What do you guys want to see? What's next for the PVC gang? Let me talk a little about the politics of this with Mario Barrios and Pacquiao, guys. You guys want my honest opinion? And I want to do a video on Errol Spence because I've never really done one on Errol Spence, but guys, Errol Spence was damaged goods, man. Think about it. There's a reason why Crawford doesn't really mention or give credit to Errol Spence. I think it's more like shout out to Errol for Terrence Crawford for saying, "Yo, I called up Errol Spence to make the fight." I believe it. I think I think Errol Spence was advised not to take the fight for health issues, not so much because of the PBC doesn't want to do better business in fights, but I think Errol Spence was advised not to do it. And again, shout out to Crawford because Crawford got Errol Spence out of that whole comfort zone where you kind of got to go through Heyman first and Crawford was able to convince Errol Spence to do it. Now, here's the thing, though: Errol Spence was not in any shape to take a fight at 147. Maybe at the minimum 154, guys. But Errol Spence, in my opinion, he had a lot of post-traumatic trauma on his brain, glossy eyes, that stuff is real. That's maybe for another video. But for those of you that don't know, should know. Okay. What else here? Any more comments? No. That's all I got, man. Let me know what you guys think, and I can maybe respond on it. But Errol Spence, I'm assuming he's retired, right? He should be retired. Took too much damage, kind of like a Vinny Paz. I like to always bring up Vinny. I brought up Vinny Paz even maybe like a year before the whole Errol Spence fiasco because that dude's lucky to be alive. That Lambo flipping like that, come on, man. I can't hate on the PBC. Maybe they're protecting Errol, but that's a very gray area of a topic, guys. Anyways, I'm gonna end it on this one, guys. For those of you, I guess hit the replay. I was talking about Pacquiao, but yeah, man, shout out to Pacquiao and Barios. Hopefully we get a rematch and we can get something better in the future. But I'm gonna cut on out, guys. I'll hit you up on the next one for Al Cuerpo Boxing. Happy 43rd birthday to my wife. This guy, that's funny, man. John 25. Yeah, man. Shout out to your wife. And Champy 154 is the hottest division. Yeah, let me think about that. That's true. By the way, Champy, I think Usyk needs to fight a guy like Cabiel or Joseph Parker. I'm gonna say it here, guys. The fight at heavyweight, stylistically, is Joseph Parker versus Usyk. I know there's reservations. Parker had losses to Joe Joyce and maybe Chisora, but styles make fights, and I think Joseph Parker has the footwork and the style to give Usyk problems. I'm not picking Parker to beat Usyk, but I want to see a really good matchup because come on, guys, Dubois was he had the hand me belt, right? Usyk had to evade the belt. He had to do the fight with Tyson Fury, so that's the reason why Dubois was elevated as champion. But it was not a realistic fight. Ivan Bogner. That sounds cool. I like that. How do you say Bogner? Is it Bognar? Ivan Bonar. Is it a silent G? Because I know in English it don't sound like Bogner. Ivan Bonar. He says right leg hospital, left leg cemetery. Oh, this is that twisted game. Canelo. Daniel H says Canelo or Crawford. Guys, I got Canelo. I got Canelo. And you know why I like this fight? Because Canelo's not with Snack. Best believe Snack does good things for the body. I wish I had Snack myself. I might even jump on Snack. I see if I could buy a supplement just to get a critique on it. But aside from that, aside from the supplements, Conte's got some super juice for his guys out there. But I kid you not, that super juice ain't gonna be enough to stop Canelo. No, hell no. Now Canelo's on a different level, and I think Canelo he knows he needs better fights with Turkey, so he's gonna do a better game plan that he did with what's his name, William Skull. But that's probably a disservice to the whole William Skull and Canelo fight because I mean Canelo Crawford is not at that level as far as danger in that sense. Champy says also to Andy Ruiz, and yeah, Champy, I did a whole hour long thing on Spanish about Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz never got credit really for the stuff that he did with Joshua. That's part of the game. You really can't aesthetically, unfortunately, aesthetically, you can't sell Andy Ruiz. I know that sounds stupid, but boxing is a business. They couldn't sell Andy Ruiz, and that's why he was like left on the side. Should have been Andy Ruiz versus Deontay Raw. That's what Heyman should have done. Let's see what else. Ivan Almighty Revenge. He says, "Hello, nice tan." Yeah, man. Thank you, man. I don't like tans too much because I end up looking like a prieto in Spanish. That means tanning. Ivan Bodner says, "You're the first person that pronounced my name correctly outside of Croatia." Yeah, yeah. Well, we know that in the whole, I think, because once upon a time, Croatia was part of the Turkic republics, right? And of the Ottoman Empire. And I think they shared the alphabet. So the G is a silent G. So it's Bonar, Ivan Bonar. That sounds cool. I like that, the way it sounds. Berenji. Hey, man, love from Scotland. Yeah, man, shout out to Scotland. Um, Hopefully we got some new Scott. I haven't been up to date with any Scottish fighters. If you know, write it there. Let me know who's your best Scottish fighter, man. Let me see something HD status. He says, Virat Kohli. No, I don't know Virat Kohli. Let me know. Virat Kohli is a cricket player from India. He got over 207 million. Damn, 275 million followers on IG. Is that true? Is that even possible? I don't really follow. Damn, 275 million. What is he? Oh, so he's Indian, right? El Profesor de Boxeo. Oh, El Profe, man. Go and subscribe to El Profesor de Boxeo. That's my big bro, my big homie, but he's mostly in Spanish. But shout out to El Profe, man. Saludos, Profe. Mira, sabes que, profe, me dormí casi en la noche. Me gustó, me encantó la pelea con Bam. Ya sabes que hice los puntos. I'm talking in Spanish here for a second. Um, la pelea con Bam me encantó porque ya vemos diferencias y ya te dije, yo quiero que el Bam ya se sube a 7-18 para acostumbrarse a meterse al Nakatani. It's going to be such a good fight. Saludos, Cuerpo Boxing. Ganó el mejor Usyk. Yeah, yeah. ¿Sabe? Yo estoy hablando de eso, pero sabes que muchos le hacen burla al Dubois porque dicen que se ve o habla como un tonto o tal vez pelea como un tonto, pero ese es otro debate. Tal vez si haces un vivo en la noche, ahí nos veremos, ¿sí? Porque me gustó, perdón, no me aguanté, me tenía mucho sueño, ya sabes que ando en Disney World con el hijo, pero esos días muy cansados, pero lo vi. Jonathan Hill says, "Peace. Do you think that Canelo and Crawford will be a chess match?" I like that. It's definitely gonna be a chess match for as long as it lasts. But I think I got Canelo. Oh, Jonathan Hill. I'll say this, Jonathan. And I'll stand by. I think Bomac's gonna throw the towel. But here's another catch, and this is for some cryptic stuff in the future, Jonathan. I think Canelo's going to suffer an adverse finding in the post aftermath. I think because of that, you're going to see because of Conte political side, he's got stuff with Snack, man. I mean, with Vada connections. Ivan Bonar says Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris. Shout out to Chuck Norris fighting in the Coliseum, right? In against Bruce Lee once upon a time. Champion says next week Zayas versus Chino Garcia. Yeah, that's gonna be a badass. And I want the winner of Zayas versus Garcia should fight Boots, in my opinion. HD status says, yeah, he is the third most followed athlete after Ronaldo. Huh? What does Ronaldo and Messi have? They got more than 270 mil on IG? I don't follow that, guys, but I trust you. I believe you guys. Willie Tino says, just got here, so I apologize if you mentioned it already. Who do you think Usyk? You think is Usyk in trouble? I said it already. Cabello. Cabello's a mystery man. He's a really, really body. He's probably the best body puncher in the game at heavyweight. And Usyk is, that's his best sparring boy. They're boys. Usyk gives Cabello a lot of credit, but I do want Joseph Parker versus Usyk. I'm not picking Parker to beat Usyk, but stylistic, that's probably the best fight to watch at heavyweight since maybe Povetkin. I mean, give me a name, but I want to see footwork, man. I want to see some styles. I want to see somebody give a Parker. I want to see somebody give Usyk troubles, But I still got Usyk to beat Parker. Usyk's he's in the flow right now. Wesley Stalby stays laughing my ass off, but for what? Status says he got more followers than LeBron James, Tom Brady, Tiger Woods, and Neymar combined. That's great. You're talking about the that cricket guy? I'll check that out. Write it again so I can remind myself. I want to check that. I'm curious. So I guess I can Google it too. Odds bet says how many rounds you reckon Adelaide last against Hergovich? I don't know. I think who did Ergovich fight last? I think he who did he beat or who did he lose to? I don't know. Hergovich, Croatian sensation, right? I think he's Croatian, but I think Hergovich. To be honest, guys, I had Hergovich versus Zile Zhang a tie when I saw that fight. That's how I became a fan of Zile Zhang. But I think Hergovich, the motion Hergovich lost, of course, to Dubois. But I'm taking Hergovich. Status, Tamil is the oldest language in the world. Huh, I didn't know that. I trust you. I trust you. Shout out to that. Let's see. Ivan Bogdan says, you train. I am a judo black first day. That's what's up. I was doing about a couple of years with Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So shout out to the judo world. No, but I've been doing boxing for more than 20 years, man. I don't know. As a trainer, regular practitioner. So I've been doing that. I'm old, man. I'm 43. Status. I think Roman Reigns will beat you. Roman Reigns. I think for up them. So what's up to Russians? Let's see what else. Status. Her name is he name is Virat Kohli. Search it on Google. Yeah, Virat Kohli, Virat Kohli, Virat Kohli. Okay, that's what's up. Welcome from Ukraine. Yeah, man. Shout out to the Ukraine. Shout out to Usyk, man. Really, really glad for you guys. I saw a lot of Ukrainian fans in the stadium. A lot of love to the Ukraine. And shout out to Usyk because Usyk endured a lot in the last 10 years, right? With the war. Uh, 3 times undisputed, man. Shout out to Alexander Usyk. Much love, man, from me. Al Cuerpo Boxing to the body. And shout out to my boy Dubois, who did get Usyk in that first fight. That's debatable, whatever. That's in the past. Hergovich is a beast. He's definitely a beast. I like Hergovich. He's a lot got that man strength. El único cocho, saludos, órale pues, saludos. Me dices lo que tú piensas de las peleas con Pacquiao, lo que sea. Status is, I think Brock Lesnar will eat you. Roman Reigns is a wrestler, right? That's a Latino. Roman Reigns. Yeah, man. That's wrestling, man. I don't really follow wrestling. But yeah, man, some good weather right here in Florida. Just enjoying it. Let me know what else you guys think, man. Let's see. We got Ivan Bognar says, Ivan Bognar. He says Zagreb, Dubrava, Croatia. One of my boys actually, he got beat actually by check out my boy yeah, but what's that Croatian guy's name? He's a southpaw. And this is in Bare Knuckle FC. Was it Bare Knuckle FC or no? It was one FC. My bad, one FC. Um, what the hell is this guy's name? I don't know. Anyways, my guy's name is Arslan. We call him Dagi. Really, really guys, really, really good. Really good in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but he got starched by this Croatian guy. That was a good fight. Syed Alawi, he says, is Usyk top 5 all time at heavyweight? Hmm, maybe. I can't hate it on it. I know the theory of they say, well, different eras, right? For example, I think Holyfield had a more difficult time in his time when he was at heavyweight. also came from cruiserweight. But you have to be objective. I think Usyk, for his time, he's the real deal. I'll say this, man. Usyk's always been a better fighter than Wilder or Tyson Fury. I think Tyson Fury, if Tyson Fury was more dedicated into boxing as he should have been in the last 10 years, he would have been a lot greater than what he came up. But the cocaine, the mandrel and all that kind of stuff, not being dedicated to the gym. Tyson Fury is a tragedy. AR says Usyk beat Dubois, Joshua 2 times. Yeah, that's two. Fury 2 times. I like the Fury win over the Joshua because look, I say, Andrew Ruiz never got credit for dethroning Joshua the first time because he beat Chisora, Bellew, White. Yeah, but Bellew scratch out Tony Bellew. Tony Bellew was hyped. White, I give him that. Moses, Wilder, and Ruiz. Yeah, I didn't know he beat Moses. Huh? Let's see. Aina Shorio. He says, "What did I thought about UFC fight last night?" Yeah, I heard about that. I didn't watch the UFC last night, so I apologize. I'm not really a UFC fan. He says, "AR, you know everything about boxing. I wish I did. I mean, historically, not so much, but as far as technique and what should be done in the ring, for sure." Ivan Bogdan says, "Damn." Honor says Uzbekistan. Yeah, Uzbekistan right now, man. You're gonna MJ versus Inoue. It's gonna be a good fight. Also, shout out to the fans of Madrimov, right? Ismail Madrimov, who else from Uzbekistan? Um, Beck the Bully. Yeah, Beck the Bully is one of my favorites. Beck the Bully, guys. I want to see Johnny Beck versus Beck the Bully, okay? Honor. Check it out, man. Uzbekistan versus Kazakhstan, okay? Let's get that fight. They can't sell, but whatever. And I don't want to call it a fantasy fight, but that's unfortunate. These guys don't get that praise. They can't get that promotion. But who knows? Maybe Turkey can change it up. Status is Roman Reigns' biceps are 22 inches. He is a monster. Damn. Yeah. Let's see. Fandango's poll. That sounds funny. Boring content on your channel. Yeah, well, most of it is Spanish and English. So Fandango's poll. Learn in life not to be a hater. I mean, what can I say? You'll get thousands of these type of comments, so I really can't hate on it. Whatever. Honor says aim from. Yeah, I don't know the Russian mode guy. Naive World says you just say Belu was hype. Yeah, I mean Belu had a nice win against what's his name, Makabu, right? Makabu. But when he went to who did Belu beat at heavyweight? He didn't really do much at heavyweight. And Bellew should have already been a cruiser, in my opinion, because I liked Bellew, but he was already trimming down at super middleweight and light heavyweight, right? I mean, come on. Adonis Stevenson starched Bellew once upon a time. So that's that. Naif World says, I take it you haven't seen the Bellew fight. Which one? Which one, my guy? The Macabre fight? That was a good fight. AR, it says Kevin Holland fight every week and get losses, huh? Pablo Aguirre says, or Pablo Aguirre says, PT10. AR says, can you speak Bengali, Urdu, or Punjabi? I can't. I wish I could. Sorry about that. Kelvin Tulifau. He says, Team Parker has to be the next. Yeah, there you go. There you go. There. Shout out to Kevin Tulifau. He knows what's up. That's the fight I want. I want Joseph Parker versus Usyk. Or give me Usyk versus Caballero. That's a good fight, guys. Trust me. Hadassah Tedla says, put your clothes on, please. Hey, man, it's Florida. This is like 90 degrees out here. It's hot, guys. I'm with my boy. He's in the pool right now. The kids. So, yeah. I mean, what do we tell boxers to put on some shirts when they're fighting? Yeah, put up some clothes, dude. And let's see. Foam did bomb. He goes, nut job. Nut job. Yes. Ivan Bogner. He says, Tuche nas policha, ko sugai panzer, Aliza, Tebe Dinamo, Ubi Jek Dats. Yeah, I hope I'm pronouncing that too, Ivan. Ivan Bogner, let me know. I love European women, man. Oh God. Don't even get me started. Nightfall says, who do you think going to win? Canelo or Crawford? I got Canelo, guys. Canelo all day. Canelo's a way better fighter than Crawford. Crawford is a badass switch hitter for real. But for me, the last great in the ring, as far as like footwork and all variety, was Lomachenko, but he's retired, guys. So yeah, we got 214 in the house. I show Smith, he says, hello, cabrón, órale pues. Soy el cabronazo. Yeah, so I show Smith. By the way, go ahead and subscribe to all these guys. Subscribe to Naive World, subscribe to I Show Meat, subscribe to Ivan Bonar, subscribe to Thom the Bomb, Subscribe to Keep Oinkies. Keith coming from Jersey said hi. That what's up, Keith? Yeah, man. What's the weather like over there, guys? I never knew Florida would be this hot. I'm not a big fan of humid heat. That's why I was never a big fan of Cancun, Mexico, because I can't do that type. I like dry heat, man. Me gusta la temperatura cruda. I like it raw and hot, like dry heat, but I don't like humid heat. And so a while ago, it was like I heard some rain, some thunder, but it's gone. So that's Florida for you. Took my boy to Disney World, you know? Shout out to all you guys that are fathers with children. May the best be for our future children, and shout out to your parents as well. ¿Quién más? Throw me some more questions. Clips to go. He says, I like South Americans. Oh, man. Of course, man. Something is wrong with the North, though. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really big on politics, too, man. Shout out to all my Latinos and Raza in the USA right now going through stuff with ICE and all this stuff. Here's the good thing about American democracy is that Trump's got another 2 years, so it's all good. 2 more years and it will be good. You know, so in different countries, it could be worse, man. Guys could be reigning in the top for years. Aaron Bruce, he says, subscribe to Aaron Bruce too. He says, I like dry heat. Oh, by the way, Uno Chump, if I'm pronouncing that from the Ukraine, shout outs to you and Usyk, man. Congratulations. He says, I like the dry heat. Go to Midwest. Grew up in Nebraska. Yeah, but Aaron Bruce, I'm originally from Chicago. I'm from the Midwest, you know? I like four seasons. For those of you that know, Chicago is one of the capital of the four seasons. We get the cold, the hot, spring, fall, which I love it. I miss it, but I don't like Chicago culture. That's why I dipped out of Chicago for years. Ivan Bognar, he says, Ivan Bonar. Ivan, say get confused. I can try. He says, the police is beating us like dirty dogs. But for you, Dinamo, I will give it all. I might visit Croatia. Um, People ask me all the time, how was it in Hamburg, Germany? You know, we got Romania, Bulgaria, of course, Macedonia, Albania. I love those countries, man. Really good people. You know, shout out to the Euro, I guess. Alan Brevar, he says, what's up? Shout out to Alan Brevar. Go and subscribe to Alan Brevar. Again, go and subscribe to Keith Oinkis. Go and subscribe to my guy, Ivan Bonar. Ina Orlova, shout out from the Ukraine. Yeah, Ilan Orlova, if I pronounced that correctly. You subscribe to Ina Orlova. Aaron Bruce, subscribe to Aaron Bruce. Aaron Bruce says, no one around here know about four seasons. Yeah, four seasons are all day. Ronnie Coleman from 420. Yeah, this is great. Ronnie Coleman. You look like Henry Cejudo, if I'm pronouncing that right. Cejudo? Henry Cejudo. He's UFC, right? Ivan Bodnar says, thanks for the shout out. Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody from the Euro side. I love European people. That's why I moved out to Europe. I mean, I guess we include Germany as Europe, living in Hamburg. Then I moved out to Turkey. Shout out to the Turks too. And shout out to Thailand, man, because Phuket's probably the next step. I got boys out there. We got the we got the Mota business out there. So what else? Throw me some more questions. It's already been 30 minutes. So my battery's gonna die. But yeah, shout out to Rasta, shout out to the Ukrainians. Much love to you guys. Very good win. Hopefully Usyk will keep fighting. Usyk said he wants to fight Tyson Fury again. It's easy work for Usyk, right? Who else did he pronounce? I think he mentioned Chisora, right? Did he mention Chisora? Who else can Usyk fight? Usyk, man, if you're down, call out. Oh yeah, he did. He mentioned Joseph Parker. Yeah, man, I like Usyk. Usyk's the real deal, man. But I think Usyk got an easy run in these last couple of years. His sense of fear is not really about that. Derek Tremblay. Tremblay. Am I pronouncing that? Derek Tremblay. Shout out to Derek. Go and subscribe to Derek Tremblay's channel. Germany is part of Europe. Yeah, of course. That's what I mean. I mean, I guess I'm being a little hating because Germany is not the cleanest of people. Very nice people, very civilized, of course. But yeah, man, I'll reserve my period, my opinion on that. But yeah, shout out to the German ladies, very nice girls out there. Ivan Bonar says, "Did you been to Yellow Wall in Dortmund?" No, but shout out to the Dirtman crew because I got a lot of friends that do channels on football. Dirtman crew. Most of my cats, obviously, from Bayern Munich, or most guys are Bayern Munich fans. But I used to play ball myself back in the day, but I'm not really big on el football. I like watching it on the World Cup at most, but Yeah, you know what, guys? I was never big on football after the 90s or maybe post 2000s when HD came around because with 4K and HD, I don't like dives, man. I don't like slow motion dives. It gives me nausea. I'm a boxing guy, guys. So when you're like exaggerating fouls, I ain't with that stuff. So you guys know what I mean, but that's part of the game, right? To show off guys when there's slow motion replays in 4K and forget about it. Forget about it. 8K televisions. I don't want to see no diving in slow motion. I'm not down with that stuff, man. Imagine if that were in boxing, right? Damn. Holding the phone like this, you should be going the arms be getting all tired and stuff. All right, guys, throw me some more questions because I'm gonna cut out soon, man. We got 255 chats in the house. It went down to 130, 22 likes. Thank you. So Clips to Goo. Shout out to Clips to Goo. Go and subscribe to Clips to Goo. That's what NBA is all about, huh? You're talking about like dives, right? I believe that. You're right. To see MJ, man. United Center, man, back in the day. Post MJ, man. One of the greatest of all time. He changed his game with that fadeaway jumper, man. MJ was something else to watch. When I was before hitting high school, coming home after school, you would always rely on MJ. And I remember the season where the Bulls they did like 72 wins and 10 losses. Did I get that right? 72 and 10, man. I remember that year, man. I was like a proud Chicagoan back in the day. And I got to meet Phil Jackson personally. I used to meet Phil Jackson because I used to be part of a program called Saturday Scholars back in the day, back in the Chicago days. I got to meet him and I got to see Phil Jackson was so tired. His ass hit an exit sign that was awkward, and his ass had to dip up because he got hurt. Ivan Bodnar says we had a range fight here with Legos, Warsaw here in Dubrava, Zagreb. They came, they lost. Yeah, well, that's what's up. And shout out to Clips to Go. He says too much drama. Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, but I don't know, man. NBA versus football as far as diving, that's a debate. I don't really know, but I trust you guys if you guys say it. Ivan Bor says Legia Tifos. I mean, huh? What is that? We're still talking about UFC. Teresa Skalosova says hello. Yeah, hello to Teresa. Go ahead and subscribe to Teresa Skal Skal Skalskozova, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But yeah, but as far as dives, you guys know what I mean, man. Guys, nowadays, 8K, 4K, you don't watch high definition guys taking dives. It is awkward, you know? I don't like it. So Teresa says, do you know Czech? I don't, but I mean, I lived in Europe, in Germany. You guys are all neighbors, you know. But Teresa the Scarlet Koshova says that. Ivan Borna says Tifos. That's that's fine. I think you guys, I'll let you guys have your own little drama going for you guys. But what else, man? What else takes to go? Give me some more stuff. It's a nice day right now. I like this. There's some nice wind going on, but it was hot as hell earlier. And yeah, I don't like getting tans, to be honest. Luckily, I didn't get dark as much this summer. Yeah, that's the shit, man. Yes. Tickets, man. There's some stickers and that's available. Anyways, guys, I want to dip out, man. I want to appreciate all those that showed up. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the traffic. And I'll see you guys in the next one. All right. You guys have a good night. It says we train, they train. Thank you, Ibak Bornak, for the shout outs on this live, man. Catch you on the next one, all right? I'll catch you guys again. Peace. Saludos al cuerpo boxeo. Al